Where is Bill Goldsmith now that I need him? I mean, really. And Goldsmith comes from a family who have made their fortune as one of the world's #1 seed and flower seed companies around the globe. And from what I can figure out, there ought to be a real opportunity for somebody to go into the flower business throughout the Salinas Valley in all 3 counties, Santa Clara, San Benito, and Monterey. Because, kids, let's face it, we have just had revealed to us by the unfortunate deaths of 2 or 3 people and the illness of something in excess of 120 nationwide, that the industry of food production as presently practiced is potentially deadly and almost certain to produce increasing numbers of small epidemics such as the one we are currently seeing with the E. coli. The process of producing food is totally organized for the profit and the convenience of the industry and its operators. It's been that way for umpteen years, largely because the industry has been able to buy the influence necessary to, among other things, limit the budget of the Food and Drug Administration so that even if it were staffed with people who wanted to do something about making the food supply safe, they haven't got the bucks to do it, which nobody really notices because most of the people appointed to the Food and Drug Administration are political hacks subservient to the interests of the industry and have been for 50 years. The Food and Drug Administration, if we were going for the classic Republican complaint about eliminating waste in government, why don't we just dump the FDA? I mean, really. They're in the pocket of the pharmacology industry. They're in the pocket of the food production industry. If you put them in charge of the borders, they would be in the pocket of Mexican immigrants. These people do not operate in a vacuum. They are political appointees dedicated to the basic Republican position as over the last century of supporting business uber alles. And so we have the Salinas Valley in which all of the water in those places where the Salinas River breaks through to the surface, in the creeks, in the ditches, in the irrigation, so polluted, so staffed with E. coli, that they are beyond federal standards for a decade or more. Now, that water isn't just sitting there. That water is being sprayed, whether it comes from a pump or not. It is being sprayed into the fields to water the spinach and other field crops. And if it is polluted with E. coli, it is then penetrating into the soil where it is sucked up by the roots and goes into the very flesh of the plants. That's how that works. If there is any that is not absorbed by the plants, then you wind up with it penetrating down to the water table, which in the Salinas Valley, because of the earthquakes, etc., is largely an underground river. We're looking at an environmental disaster, folks. We're looking at a whole lot of suburban condo development in the near future because places that have gotten so polluted from the long-term application of materials by the industry as to be irrecoverable. Ask anybody in the organic farming game how long it takes to clean up an industrial farmland. Could be that the Salinas Valley, one of the jewels of food production in the world, is about to go into some other business. And that's enough news for now. I'm Travus T. Hipp. On the pig, on the radio, none of the foregoing commentaries and opinions have in any way reflected reality as perceived by this station, its management, owners, sponsors, or staff, but are solely the responsibility of myself and Cabal News Services.